Dine. Now, with us down the line, Kev Riley. I've said before, a legend, a cultural icon from the show Come Dine With Me. Now, Abigail, my co-host here, Kev, is an American. Are you familiar with Come Dine With Me?
Yes, I have seen Come Dine With Me. I've seen a couple episodes of it.
Are you? When I told you that Kev was coming on the show, were you aware of his work?
I had missed that episode, but now that I have seen your work, Kev, big fan. Big fan.
So, hello, Kev. How are you doing?
I'm good. She's watched a couple more episodes than me then.
Yes, I heard you were just sort of thrown into the experience. You were signed up by a mate. You didn't even have any sort of knowledge of it.
No, that's true. There was just a guy with a clipboard in Burnley Town Centre, where at the time where I live, and he just signed me up because I had a bit of a reputation back in the day for ping meals and the like. He signed me up, and thought it was a bit of a prank. But then, when you got a lot of camera crew at your front door, you realise it wasn't.
Well, we'll come on to what you've been sort of memeified and become famous for. But based on your experience, would you recommend that strangers sign up with clipboard men in the sort of city centres? Do you think that's just take a punt and do it, or would your experience steer you away from signing up from random clipboard men in the future?
I'd need time to think about that, but I suppose 13 years on, and I'm still being recognised in the street for selfies. I suppose it's had an impact on my life, whether it's positive or negative, I suppose.
Yes, well, I'll play the famous clip now. So Kev, in an episode of Come Dine With Me, was preparing a cheesecake, a molten milk cheesecake, when this iconic moment happened.
Kev's making 2 layers for his cheesecake. One with white chocolate, the other with milk chocolate. Very fancy.
See what that tastes like.
Verdict?
Perfect.
Now, that is you tasting your cheesecake with a full whisk, the business end of a whisk, in your mouth.
Yeah.
So Kev, do you now have an OnlyFans? Is that what this has launched you into?
No, maybe that'd be an idea. My wife, who's constantly reminding me that I don't make any money out of this fame. Maybe it should have been something more expensive I put in my mouth, because you can't really brand a whisk. They're about £2, aren't they, in the local shop?
Yeah, you could have I suppose you could just sell your own whisks and just say they're from you. I think so many people would find you iconic that they'd go for that.
I've got the original one here. That's the original one.
Oh my goodness!
Wow,
that is
I feel
so cool.
So special that I get to look at that.
I thought that might go for a bit on eBay one day. Never mind.
Yeah.
That is good. Yeah. Well, look, get you, listeners, email in your bids for Kev's whisk.
So, when you stuck the whole whisk in your mouth, I found it inspiring. Now, did you know that was ridiculous? Do you always taste your baking like that, or were you like, this will be a funny thing to do on camera?
I think I've only baked 3 times in 12 years, so it would be difficult to say it was a regular thing. But the reason I was doing it is because I was a complete novice on the show. The other 3 contestants were fantastic cooks. Not many people watch the entire show, but it's they just remember it for that one clip. But the 3 other contestants were all really good cooks, and I was struggling. And I had a producer who had a bit of a soft spot for me, and she was even chopping up my veg in the when the cameras were working.
No.
And I was doing it to make her laugh. I just shouted her and just put the whisk in the mouth, and then it was only when I saw the camera crew and stuff laughing and that I realised it was a moment. Then I forgot about it until the show went on TV. We all met in my father-in-law's local pub to watch it on telly. And then from then it's just been never-ending.
Never-ending indeed. That's an important life lesson there, is that reality TV producers, as nice as they may seem, they're always looking for a moment, so you've got to be careful what you give up.
That's so endearing, though, that you were like just trying to make your friend laugh in the moment, and then you're like, oh no, there are cameras. Like, oh.
I think it's a very lovable moment. I'm obsessed with you, as are many people. Your face appeared on a flag in Glastonbury at the Glastonbury Festival during Coldplay's headline set. You were there. How does that feel to be sort of paraded around as an icon?
Well, that was a surreal moment because in my pastime I'm a DJ. So I was DJing at a local festival called Briarcliff Festival, and I came home from that to sit on the settee with my ears ringing, flick BBC on, and Glastonbury was on, and my favourite band, Coldplay, are playing, and then all of a sudden, I'm sort of falling asleep, and then my phone's just pinging non-stop, and then I realise why. I rewound it a few minutes, and there I am. So I can now advertise as seen on stage with Coldplay at Glastonbury.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I was going to ask you, because you're a DJ, is there an act you would have rather appeared in front of? But you said they're your favourite band, so...
No, definitely that's Coldplay. Me and my wife went to see them. We've been a few times, and yeah, there's nobody quite like it live, in my opinion. But I know they're a bit of a Marmite band, but not for me.
No, I've seen Coldplay live. I went on Milo Xylophone tour. That was really, really, really good. So I'm glad your face was shown to the right band. It would have been horrible if it was a band you hated. Now, obviously, you say people didn't really watch the episode. They just remember this sort of moment that's endured. I'm wondering, because I've not gone back and watched the episode, was the cheesecake good? For all your efforts, did you actually put out a good malted milk cheesecake?
Yeah. I mean, I made it with malted biscuits rather than the normal digestive. There was 3 cheesecakes on the episode though, all of them good. I named it after my daughter Millie, who's she was like really, really young at the time, like a baby, and now she's 12 going on 13, and she's it's her friends that recognise me, which is really surreal.
Yeah,
because TikTok, it's like a TikTok thing, isn't it now? There's someone pretending to be me on TikTok that's got a million followers, I think, and that's not me. So as long as that person doesn't put out anything naughty, I'm all right with that.
Yes, if they start your OnlyFans career before you, that would be bad.
But it's just it's a nice thing. But the cheesecake was, it was good at the time, but I remember it going quite hard quickly. I think we were using it as a doorstop by the end of the year.
Oh, well, look, it is so strange just to have. I imagine it must be so surreal to have this thing enduring and it all pop up and have its new life because of TikTok and stuff like that. But what's the best thing that's come out of it? Because we've had a few sort of viral stars, and before we had the Glaswegian Sad Oompa Loompa and people like that. They've sort of managed to spin some positives. Has there been something really nice that's come out of this virality?
Yeah, I did done things that the average fella from Burnley won't do. I spoke to obviously diversity on their radio show. Yourselves obviously a highlight.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I did an advert for Ritz Crackers, where I got to meet Joel Dummett on shows and things like that. So there's been some nice sides of it.
Good.
And then bumping into people who have my face on jumpers and socks. That's always really surreal.
Socks. Wow. I feel like you've made it when you go onto a sock.
Yeah.
A jumper, obvious place to put a face. But when people are like, I need you on my ankles, that's when you're famous.
Well, there's someone got a tattoo of me as well.
Whoa.
No way. Mid Whisk, I assume.
Yeah. And I'm not sure whether it's an arm or a thigh. I didn't want to be rude and ask, but
yeah.
But it was and then bed sheets there is. If you actually type in Whisk Guy and then click on shopping, there are some strange items that people have put the image on.
And are you making any money on that? Have you thought about trademarking your own image?
Well,
This is me. This is the business.
I'm on the Cameo app for people. We're doing the happy birthdays and things like that. There's a modicum amount of money on that, but nothing that really probably, when I spoke to Rob Beckett about it when I was on his show, he said somebody with that many, hits on a YouTube, he said over 150 million or whatever. It should, I should have been, I should have at least had a nice car or holiday out of it.
Yeah, well, we'll encourage everyone to please go to Kev's Cameo and support him. I found the bed sheets. Guess how much they are? How much did you pay for a pair of Whisk Guy bed sheets?
I mean,
queen size.
I got it. Okay, I'm going to assume that because, Kev, you did not endorse these sheets yourself, the thread count's not that good. So I'm going to guess they're $19.99.
They are £101.
What? Kev, you got to trademark your image, bro.
Yeah,
You're leaving money on the table.
Even if you don't want a cameo, go get a cameo, because Kev is a legend. He's endured recognition without the money. So go support him. Get a Whisk Guy cameo. What's been your best cameo request? Any sort of highlights?
Oh, I get some strange ones that appear at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, asking me to do stuff, which I don't do because I don't want to mention some of the things. But it's I have to be wary that these are not necessarily private messages and they're going to end up in lads' WhatsApp chats and things like that. But I've done them. Someone requested me to do them at football stadiums, and if Burnley, my team, has been there, I've done them.
Nice.
But yeah, I've had lots of fun with it, and as long as it always stays fun, it's a good laugh.
Good. And amazing that you have better broadcast training than many BBC presenters, knowing that things on the internet are permanent and restricting yourself. Yeah, cool. Yeah, go check out Kev's cameo. Thank you so much for talking to us, Kev. I hope Burnley continue their good run of form and can keep conceding no goals. And have a lovely, lovely rest of your week.